Sexuality, astrology, therapy. When you get questions about sexual issues from clients, which parts of the chart are you going to consider? Is Mars really the planet that says how you perform in bed, and Venus what you like and what the sensual parts are? Practice shows that these kinds of delineations are by far not enough to describe the often very complex issues around sexuality. Sexuality is a vital and instinctive force, with expressions ranging from very destructive acts like abusive serial killings till the most spiritual forms of Tantra. The place sexuality gets in our life is interwoven with many non-sexual issues and complexes. And after extensive researching these topics, one thing is clear to me. Simple astrological rules are not enough to describe how sexuality functions in one's life. I have gone through a lot of astrological and non-astrological books, articles and materials, and in this lecture I will present a synopsis of my findings and hope it will stimulate further research. Many years ago, a married couple wanted to have their charts done and talk about some relationship issues. In preparing the charts I saw that in synastry they had a nice trine between her Venus and his Mars. Astrologers would love such an aspect for couples, as it means that as soon as they are together, the following dynamic can develop. As soon as she shows a Venus kind of behavior, and just giving a little kiss or touching her husband tender, it does awake his Mars, his potential for action in general, but it can also awake a sexual impulse. The aspect being a trine, the energy between them can start to flow in a natural way. They deeply loved each other, but the real reason they wanted to see me was that they struggled with sexual problems. So where is the beautiful trine? Early 70s of the last century, when I started to learn astrology, I was taught that when you had an aspect between Mars and Saturn, and especially a hard aspect, you could not perform in bed. It was said that you would be afraid of sex, and would suffer from inhibitions, in short, not something to be happy with. An aspect between Venus and Saturn was also judged in a harsh way. Being cold and distant in relationship, frigid in bed, lack of lust and pleasure, etc. My clients both did not have Saturn aspects with Venus or Mars. Furthermore, they have had therapy with a sexologist in medical practice, and have had a lot of information how sex works, and also a lot of special exercises, but it had not resulted in a more fulfilling sex life. In short, they love each other. They have been in a special therapy. They don't have aspects between Mars or Venus with Saturn in their chart, and they have a nice synastry between her Venus and his Mars. So, where is the problem? This case was the trigger for me to try to understand the dynamics of sexuality, and I think sexuality is one of the most complicated things you can imagine, and because of that not something you can simply assign to one planet or sign or house or aspect.